Hey everybody, this is Bill, Blitzmolin Fab. Hey, if you can like and subscribe my video, I can use the subscribers. I'm in the garage this morning, starting to work on seat belts. Finally got the car running, took it for a little cruise. I'll probably have to see if I can't get a video of that. Working on some seat belts, and I'll show you what I bought. I got it over here on the bench, and I believe I got them from like seatbelts.com or something like that. These are 3-point belts. This is the retractor that goes down on the bottom. This is the other part that bolts with the retractor. This is the part that bolts to the other side of you at the seat. I got these old style clips. I don't know why I did. Wondering if I should have just got the regular ones. These are the ones that came off my seats. I had a set of Camaro seats, so those are the ones that came off the side of the seat. These will bolt in place of those. So, but what I'm working on right now is the biggest deal I have is I don't have any place for this top mount. This is the one that's over your shoulder on the outside of the car. So what I did is I took a little piece of steel, a little chunk of metal, and I welded a nut to it. And what it's going to do is this nut is going to go through here and it's going to bolt into this. And I'll get set up in the car and I'll show you what I'm going to do to mount this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drill a hole big enough for this nut, and then I'm going to go ahead and split the metal. I'll show you what I'm talking about. I'm going to split the metal on the car and kind of get this slid into position, and I'm going to have to hammer the metal back over, and I'm going to have to weld it back on. So what I'm trying to do is get something in there that has a little bit of, you know, stability or something kind of behind it. That was my kind of thought of doing this, you know, and not just having, you know, a nut. I could have welded a nut in there real easy, but I thought, you know, I should probably have something with a little bit more stability behind it than just welding a nut. And I'll show you why. The metal in there is pretty thin. So let me get it set up in the car and I'll show you what I'm talking about in the car. I'll be back. All right, I'm in here. Sorry about the light. I set up this light just to give a little bit more light in here, but it's an LED, so it's flashing a little bit. But this will give you an idea what I've got to deal with here. This raised piece right here is actually fairly thin metal. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill a hole right about here, above shoulder height. And I'm going to drill a hole right here. And then I'm going to cut this. And I'm going to just open it a little bit, enough to slide that piece that I have in there to provide some stability. And then I'm going to go ahead and close this. And I'm going to tack this back up. I'm going to tack weld this back closed. So I don't know how well you guys can see that. I mean, I'm trying here with my light, and this flashing bugs the crap out of me. I can see it. So anyway, that's what I'm going to do. So I'll get started. I'll figure out where I'm going to put it. And to start with, I'm going to go ahead and get a drill bit, and I'm going to make my main hole. It's got to be about the size of this whole little piece that stands up here. So this is where that piece is going to slide and set in, and it's just going to have the nut right here, and that's where my shoulder position of the belt is going to attach. So that's what I'm working on. So I'll be back. Okay, changed my light. It's still an LED bulb, but it's not a bunch of little LEDs. So this is what I did. Figured out about where I wanted it. Just kind of measured from this top ledge, and this is just above my shoulder by probably the top of the seat, maybe 6 inches. And all I did is just made a mark, drilled a hole in it, and so that hole is for this. So this is actually going to go right in here, and I'm just going to tack it inside of there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to split this right here and right here. and I'm gonna try to just carefully cut it if I can and get this kind of slid down inside of this. And so that's all I want. So I'm gonna make a few cuts. I'll be back. Okay, so I'm back. So here is what I did. I just kind of took a little body saw, some tin snips. It looks nasty. I've just got it rolled open so that I could get this in. So let me maneuver the camera around here, make you guys sick. So over on this side, we're fitting pretty good. I do have to straighten this out just a little bit. It's gonna straighten itself up because I want it to come straight off of the pillar, kind of just like that. So I've got it straight off the pillar. And so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna start folding all this metal. I'm gonna start hammering, take a body hammer, punch, pliers, whatever the heck I gotta do. I'm gonna get this stuff folded all the way back around this thing so that I can start tacking this back together. So I'm gonna start working on that, and I'll be back and I'll show you where I got. So I'll be back. All right, I'm back. A few minutes of hammering with a punch, screwdriver. I don't know if you can see how goofy this looks. I'm having to kind of hold the camera on a little bit of an angle. But this is what I got. I'm back in on this side. You know, it fits nice over here. And this is kind of what I wanted. It's a little bit loose, but that's okay. I'm gonna hold it tight while I tack it, and you know, get this stuff tacked back up. I'm just gonna tack back up here, and I'm gonna tack around my bolt, and then tack this line up here, and just tack this back together. I don't know if there's any engineers out there that'll probably tell me that this sheet metal is too thin to hold a seat belt or whatever, but this is a lot safer than just having the lap belts in here. I thought about putting harnesses. Maybe down the road I'll do a roll cage and some harnesses or something like that, and if so, I'll just pull this bolt out, pull the seat belts out, and just abandon this, you know, abandon this in place. But this is what I got. I'm gonna have to cut this bolt off. I'm gonna have to measure it through the top, you know, the third part of the seat belt, and because this only goes into where my plate was. I thought about making the plate wider. I thought about making it so that the bolt would go in deeper, and then I thought, you're gonna just kind of defeat the purpose of everything, and you're gonna weaken the whole thing up. So anyhow, I'm gonna have to drag my welder out and get my welder set up, and then I'm just gonna kind of hold this thing straight out, and I'm gonna just start tacking this back in here and get this set up. So I'll be back, and then you guys will get to see my little pigeon poop weld. So I'll see what I can do in here. It's hard to get good grounds. I'm gonna have to try to clean some of this up. Maybe see if I can't get a wire wheel in here. This is on this gray primer on here is weld through primer that I sprayed on it to just have some protection in the back. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna drag my welder out, see if I can't tack all this stuff up. It's gonna be hidden, it's gonna be behind stuff. It doesn't really matter if it looks like crap anyway, as long as it's in there and as long as that's welded back up. So that's my biggie. So I'll be back. All right, I'm back. I got it welded in. Like I said, I just followed my stitch up there where I cut it open, followed my stitch down here. I guess I need to clean them up a little bit. I have my welder set a little cold. I was really trying not to burn through. For some reason, I kept burning through this metal. It's really thin metal. I don't know if it's about 18 gauge or something, but it's real thin. So anyhow, hopefully that T-piece, you know, that goes up to about here and down to about here, hopefully that'll give me some, some good backing to hold that shoulder belt. So that's all I got for right now. I'll go ahead and take a look at what else I need to do. This was my big, the shoulder mounting point locations on both sides. I did the other side. I don't know if you can see it. I don't have a light over there. I did the other side. I kind of tore the metal up a little bit more on that side. This was my second one, which I really changed the plan. On the other side, what I did is I took my drill bit and I drilled a hole here, I drilled a hole below it, and I tried to make my hole big enough to get my T-piece in there. And then after I did that and really messed up the metal and kind of drilled a lot more than I needed to, I realized that I could have just sliced it down the side and opened it up, you know, just kind of tuna canned it. So anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and take a look at what I need to do to mount the other points. And like I said, and then I'll go ahead and maybe spray a little paint on these and continue on my seat belts. I'll be back. I'll take a look at what I've got to do to hook up the other bottom points and see where it goes. All right, I'm rolling right along. I've got the seat bracket parts mounted, and like I said, it's got the old style clip ends on them, and these just mounted to the stock location on the seat, so I just put the bolts through them. I think earlier I talked about I took a washer, welded it to a straight piece of metal, put a little bend in it, and put it in here so that it kind of holds this stationary, you know, that it doesn't want to just move wherever it wants, because the end of the seat belt is right here, and if I don't have anything in here, this is just going to want to just fall and sit down on the floor or whatever. And I thought, you know, it'd be really cool if I could make something to just hold these up, you know, hold this one and this one just kind of in place. So they move a little bit, which is okay, which is cool. It's just the plastic that moves in there. And so I'm going to keep moving on. This is the driver's side one. And so I've got those mounted. I'm going to pop the plastic caps on the outside of them, and I'm going to keep moving. I'll be back. Okay, so what I'm looking at next is where to mount these bottom two ratchet pieces. And if I mount this to the seat, this is going to sit right in here. So I think what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to cut this trim piece straight down here, and I'm going to have to cut this piece over here. This was already broken and I repaired it, but I'm going to have to go ahead and just cut this. So hopefully that'll leave my trim in a good spot where it'll still stay on the seat. But you know, this piece has to sit down here and bolt to the seat. And so I'm gonna trim conservatively first, try to maybe put it on an angle, and if I need to make, you know, cut a little further out or, you know, something like that, I'll do that. But I tried to figure it out, tried to stuff this thing up, this block, you know, this is where all the seatbelt is, the winder, the rewinder and stuff. Tried to stick it up underneath here and didn't help much. So just kind of eyeballing it. So I'm going to move forward, cut this, and take a look at where we're at. Alrighty, well, I went ahead and made some cuts in the plastic on the sides, and I mounted this, the tensioner piece, and then I mounted the other side behind it, and I used the stock mounting location on the seat, and then I mounted this up here where I welded this nut. And so I've got it out here, comes across and attaches right here. So I've got some seat belts. So this is how my seat belt plan turned out. Looks okay. Now all I got to do is go over to the other side and do the whole thing all over again. So took me some time, but like I said, turned out pretty good. I cut the stock trim on these Camaro seats, and this fits pretty good in there and it looks pretty nice. So when you kind of look at it from the side, you can't really see it too much. Almost looks like it was meant to be there. And then, like I said, with this nut welded in here, this is up where the slider goes, where your shoulder harness anchor is. So that's all I got. So playing around, I'm gonna move to the other side of the car and I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side, but nothing different. So I hope everybody's having a great day. Hope everything's going great in your life. Like and subscribe if you could. I need the subscriptions. Just working on the 55 today. Trying to keep rolling and keep progress going. A few other videos I got coming up. I'm gonna have to move my shifter. I tacked the brackets for my shifter, so I'm gonna have to move those. And so I'm gonna have to move my shifter and route my cable again. And then I'm gonna be probably looking at carpet or maybe kind of tackling these rear seats. I don't know if you guys can see back there, but I got Camaro rear seats sitting back here. So I might try to see how good or bad those fit and see if I can't start figuring out how to get those suckers mounted up. So I'm gonna keep working in that direction, get some carpet put in this thing, and kind of get it looking a little bit more decent inside. Don't know what I'm gonna do for door panels or anything else in here. Headliner is gone. I would love to order TMW stuff, but it's so expensive I can't really go in that direction. So I'll keep trucking along little by little. I hope you guys have a great day. Like and subscribe. Thanks.